All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Richard Taylor, and I'm coming to you today with another disturbing, horrific story about this North Carolina preacher, the man that you see in the caption of this video. He is Minister Mario Moody. Mr. Moody is from the Williamson area of North Carolina. He's also lived in the Halifax area and the Edgecombe County area of North Carolina. Now, and I would say Mr., not Minister, but Mr. Moody has been accused and actually charged with abusing his daughter in an inappropriate manner from the ages of 12 to 18. Now, the young lady that you see in the caption is the daughter, Miss Ariel Moody, who is the subject of these actions perpetrated by her biological father, a man who reported or claimed to be a man of God, faces several charges relating to the heinous acts committed against his own, once again, blood of his blood and flesh of his flesh. Now, I spoke with Ariel, the daughter, on a couple of occasions, and she's provided information to me concerning her experience with her father. Now, Miss Moody, Ariel, was courageous and brave enough to come forth and share what has been done to her last year, in April 2023, is when she first came forth to authorities about what has been happening to her from the ages, again, from 12 to 18. Now, when she first got the courage to tell someone about this incident, she originally told Mr. Moody's sisters, which were her aunt. And the aunt's name that she told was Stacy. And she said that when she told the aunt told her that, Minister Moody or Mr. Moody had also attempted those actions with her when the aunt was a child. So she then told Ariel, to keep this in the family. This is what we do. We're going to keep this in the family. Nobody needs to know. And Miss Ariel actually showed me the text messages. She said that the aunt said, and I'm reading from the text messages now, and also this was reported by the NCB as well. So I'm referencing that article. But this aunt said, okay, good, keep it that nobody needs to know. We work together as family, my mother's side only. So basically, she's telling this child, who is now 18 at the time then when she decided to disclose the matter, she's telling this child to keep it in the family. Now later, when everything came out, Ariel tells me that Mario Moody's mother, which is her grandmother, also knew about his alleged actions as a child. And the mother purportedly stated that, we thought he had changed when he got saved at the age of like 17. or thereafter. Um, Ariel also told me that, she found out later that there is a habit, or I would say a generational curse of these actions taking place in her family. She said that her great grandfather, and she gave me the name, her great grandfather Leroy, had did the same thing to his daughter as well. So, nevertheless, she told the aunts, and then the aunts, of course, told her to keep it in the family, in which she initially agreed to do, because as her text message reads, well, I don't want anyone, going to jail or getting in trouble because of this. So, as a child, as an adolescent, her thought was, to protect not only, her father, but also her mother. So there wouldn't be any rifts in the family dynamic. Now, eventually, about 5 days after she told her aunt, she did then confided in her mother. Now, after she spoke to her aunt, she made a Facebook post saying that, and I'm paraphrasing, there's just some secrets that I must take to the grave. And when her mother saw that message, her mother asked her, what kind of secrets do you have? Now, Ariel told me that she didn't tell her mother on that occasion, but eventually she went on ahead and let her mother know. Now, unlike a lot of mothers, or some mothers, I'll say, her mother believed the child. I've heard several instances of, women and girls going through these situations, and the mother plays the role of denial or cognitive dissonance and refuses to believe the child. Nevertheless, the mother, once she heard this, she instantly kicked Mario out, or Minister Moody, if you would, be gracious enough to call him that. She instantly kicked him out and also accompanied her daughter to the police station, which was in Halifax County. Now, when the allegations came out, Mr. Moody was a minister at United Full Gospel International Ministries, where Apostle Sharp was the pastor. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this church was located in, I think, Weldon, North Carolina. And let me go ahead and make sure that I do have the correct place. United Full Gospel Revival Center Church. Now, I think that is located in Weldon, North Carolina. However, Mr. Moody then confessed to his head pastor, Apostle Sharp, who was also a female. And once again, to her credit, she immediately excommunicated him or kicked him out of the church. It was also said that Mr. Moody confessed these actions to his Apostle Sharp and also to his family members. And it was at that point Mr. Moody left Halifax County and he went down to Williamston County. And in Williamston County, Ariel informs me that his family has a lot of pull in Williamston County. And so it was then that he was subsequently arrested, I think in about June. In June of last year, he was arrested and charged with various crimes, which I'll go over later. But he was arrested and given a small bond in Williamston, and then he was also arrested in two other counties. That's Halifax County and Edgecombe County. Now, these arrests were in each county because all of these instances lasted over a 6-year period. Now, evidently, Ariel, her three siblings, and her mother and father lived in all three counties during that time. Now, also, she informs me when she decided to go forth and the charges were brought forth, that is when her father's sister, Aunt Stacy, and the other sister, and possibly her grandmother, turned on her and went down to the courthouse and tried to portray her as crazy, as a liar, and refuted the incidents that she reported. Nevertheless, several counts of criminal charges were taken out on Mr. Moody. So, and I'm going to read the particular counts, and I may have to abbreviate some of those accounts because YouTube has a, algorithm which doesn't allow you to say certain things. But Mr. Moody was charged with 2 counts of crimes against natures, 3 counts of statutory R, and also 2 counts of indecent liberties with a minor. Now, Mr. Moody has several court dates that are coming up within the next couple of months. So these charges are substantiated, and they are, hopefully he's going to be brought to trial. Now, Ariel say that these attacks happened as her mother, who held 2 jobs as a teacher and at the prison, she would be at work. And she also states that her father used and twisted scriptures to justify his actions. Ariel said that there were times where, the father would be reading the Bible with all 3 of the children or 4 of the children, and then he would say, well, God has given me a special message for Ariel. So you other 3 go in the front room, or, you guys go outside and play, and I'm going to give this special message to Ariel. And it was then when he began to, attack or assault young Ariel. And then, as she stated in this article, she said that she would be watching him in the pulpit preach and would be so conflicted because of what he was doing to her. And she also said she experienced suicidal thoughts and depressions due to these actions. And whenever she told him or, thought about, speaking out, he would tell her that she was dealing with demons, and he would, quote unquote, rebuke her. Of course, that is, something that ministers, but also not all ministers, of course, but ministers and also parents use to control the situation or make the victim seems like they are doing something wrong when reporting, actions like this. Now, Ariel also once again discussed with her aunt the fact that, this was going on, and her aunt once again admitted to her that this happened to her, but we should keep it in the family. Now, I guess the straw that broke the camel's back was when Ariel and her mother and her father moved to Tarboro, which is in Edgecombe County. Henceforth, the charges in Edgecombe County. And she said that Mario then again attempted to assault her there. Now, at this point, she's 18, and evidently she was trying to, she had the ability to and the strength to avoid the assault. So it was then that, once again, she expressed the desire to tell someone, but then again, Minister Moody, told her that by telling, she would break up the family. And he also threatened her, saying that he would unalive himself. Now, once again, that is a tactic, a manipulation tactic that older adults use against younger teens or younger adults or even children. And Ariel once again decided to pack her bags and leave. But once again, Mr. Moody manipulated the situation by telling her mother that she was going down the wrong path in life, and she was crazy, and she needed help. So, and again, I mentioned that she agreed initially to not tell and keep it in the family. But once she made that step, it is when, she started receiving, almost threats from her aunts and her father's side of the family to keep quiet. Now, she details the incidents that happened. She was taken advantage of in his car, in the bedroom that he shared with her mother, in her own bedroom, in the bathroom. She said that anywhere that he felt like it, these assaults would take place. A lot of times he would come in while she was sleeping, and then he would say that he was trying to teach her certain things. He would even do it when he was taking her to school. Now, this man is despicable. Now, what this is what she said, that he would always claim that God dropped something in his spirit to tell her, and it was once again he would commit these acts, but he never did it in front of the other siblings. Now, once again, the preacher who found out and he confessed to did kick him out of the church. However, she tells me that today he is still running around preaching. In fact, she says that he currently preaches at St. John Missionary Baptist Church Soul Saving Center, where the pastor Gregory Black and evangelist Patricia Black are the pastors. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this church is somewhere, I think, in Stokes County, and that's Stokes, North Carolina, and I think that is in Pitt County. Now, evidently, he is hiding his charges from the pastors, and actually, he's not. She informed me that the pastor, somebody made an anonymous call and said that he definitely shouldn't be a minister there. And so the pastors assured the person that he is not preaching, and also he is not working with the youth. He's just a patron of the church. And you can go to their church's website and see the St. John Missionary Baptist Church Soul Saving Center that they are a fully operating church, fully operational church. Miss Ariel reached out to me because, unlike a lot of people who, or a lot of women and even men, I guess, who have went through this harrowing experience, she's not afraid to tell her story, but she also wants to get the story out to prevent others from having to endure something like this from the age of 12 to 18, but also to give courage to others to come out and share her story. Now, according to her, she didn't want to release too much information about it, but there is another relative that she grew up with in the house who has also stepped forward about Minister Moody's indiscretions towards her as well. So, expectedly, there are to be some more charges levied against this quote unquote minister. And so this is a very disturbing situation for someone to use their position as not only a father, but also a minister, someone who supposed to be a man of God, to use that to take advantage of children, but more despicably, his own flesh and blood. I had to clarify. I said, now this is not just a man your mother married. This is your actual blood father. She said yes. So this I don't know, because I have a daughter. I don't know what would possess a man. It has to be something spiritual, demonic, in what they call it, generational, ancestral, or ancestral, to allow a person to do something of that nature. Now, of course, in slavery, they used to, make relatives procreate with each other and, just sport with each other for fun. But this was not done under the coercion of another person. This was done of his own volition. And so I tell this story because if anybody ever sees Minister Mario Moody, or if he's ever somewhere advertising himself as a minister, and if you ever see him at your church or youth conference or anywhere within the house of the Lord, then you should definitely be aware of what this man has been accused of, not only accused of, but charged with. There's a lot of this goes on in our community. And being that April is Sex Abuse Awareness Month, this is a very timely story to explore. And, I encourage anyone who has experienced this thing, and once again, I haven't, so I don't know the level of embarrassment or pain or shame that these incidents force on an individual. However, I do encourage you, in order to get out of that situation and make the person pay for their actions, I encourage you to, expose the individual so they will not be able to do this to others. Apparently, Mr. Moody has done this to more than one person, but thanks to the courage of Miss Ariel, she's enabling others to come forth about him, but she's also making others aware of him. So apparently, once again, he is still, according to her, the bishop who kicked, or the apostle who kicked him out, did not retract his ministerial license. So evidently, he's still operating under the guise of her God-fearing man. But yeah, the guy's name once again is Mario Kent Moody, and you see the picture of him preaching, and just putting up that facade. But 19-year-old Ariel, she's taking forth steps to make sure that everybody knows about this, and I am not to. I was extremely happy to help her bring this story to light, because this is something that once again goes on too often unaddressed, and with that same keep it in the family, sweep it under the rug mindset, it allows it to curse for generations and generations and generations on hand. Also, to inflict those that pain, that shame, that feeling of loneliness and helplessness on other victims. And actually, as I shared with her, I've been working on my fifth book, which is called My Grandmother's Basement, which is about a true story of a friend of mine who also endured the same thing from her daddy's brother and her daddy's cousin from the age of 9 to 10. And once again, this is one of probably millions of stories of that nature. But the more we talk about things, the more we expose these things, the less likely people are going to engage in them things. And once again, this happens all too often in the church, as we see. We did some stories about a few pastors, early in the year or last year. Those things that happen, the sexual perversion in the church, is really running rampant. So we have to question ourselves: what type of spirits that are we letting in, and are we allowing, or are we accepting? As my brother Mike Best said the other day, and I'm going to play his video and do a video on that, about the spirit of discernment. We are supposed to be able to discern these things as believers of God and people who are supposed to have an in-tune relationship with God. And once again, there are many deceivers. As the Bible says, Satan comes as a angel of light, and so definitely there are people who are very, very, very cunning, very deceptive, very subtle, as the Bible says about the snake in the garden. So we have to be aware, we have to be cognizant, we have to be vigilant, we have to be, well connected with the spirit of discernment to prevent these things from happening. Nevertheless, we're going to keep you updated on this story. Hopefully I can, attend the court dates that are coming up. Just not only to find out more information, but also give the young lady support, because as we see from her testimony that she's getting it. I even asked her to come on and tell the story. We can do a live video, but she feels threatened in some regards through her other side of the family, which once again should never be as well. But 919-587-7782. Share your thoughts in the comments. Even if you have some experiences to share, feel free to call me, 919-587-7782. But I definitely will be keeping you guys informed on, this story about this. I hate to call him a man, because, only a beast or an animal would do something like this to a child, more or less his own daughters. Nevertheless, peace and blessings. Y'all have a blessed day.